Welcome aboard, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health. Another edition of Medical Perspective with Dr. Glidden. Today, we're going to be talking about the influenza virus, which is a big bad voodoo daddy this time around. It's having a really strong negative effect. A lot of children are dying. And inquiring minds would like to know, number one, why? And number two, what is conventional medicine doing about it? And number three, why aren't conventional medical doctors, why aren't their feet held to the fire when they fail? Flu numbers hit fresh highs, 16 new reports of child deaths from the flu. This according to CBS.com. Here's an interesting case. This child, a child in Michigan, was vaccinated for the flu, went to the emergency room like a couple weeks later, right? He had flu symptoms. They gave him an anti-nausea medicine, sent him home, and the next day he died. And the headlines were, this flu is really tough. This year's flu virus is really difficult. Beware, get your child vaccinated. We need more vaccination. When the headline should have been, child dies from conventional medical treatment from the flu. What would have happened, do you think, had that child gone to see a naturopath instead of a medical doctor? Licensed naturopathic doctor? What do you think would have happened? Well, number one, he couldn't have, because naturopathic medicine is not licensed in Michigan, not yet. But what if he'd gone to a chiropractor? What if he'd gone to an herbalist? What if he'd gone to an acupuncturist? What if he had done Ayurvedic medicine instead and died? Headlines would have been, quack doctors kill child, congressional investigation pending. But when conventional medical doctors fail, when conventional medical doctors kill, heaven forbid, they didn't kill the child on purpose. That's not what I'm saying. But they failed. He died on their watch. They get a pass. They always get a pass. Not even an OSHA ticket, for goodness sakes. Why is this happening? Because we haven't had a free medical market for at least 100 years. The only medicine you have access to, MD-directed medicine, the only medicine your insurance pays for, MD-directed medicine, the only medicine they practice in your hospital, MD-directed medicine, the only medicine they do research on at your local university, MD-directed medicine, the only medicine they make TV shows about, MD-directed medicine. And you have been culturally hypnotized into believing that everybody but the MD is a back-of-the-bus quack with substandard training and dangerous therapeutics. So, even when the medical doctors fail you, even when they harm your children, even when they kill somebody or bankrupt you, they get a pass. And, you know, we don't have any perspective on this, and we desperately need it. Another child, hockey player, healthy as an ox. He's traveling with his teammates at a hockey game. He gets sick. He goes to an emergency room. They give him some type of treatment. They didn't say what they did, and they discharge him. 2 days later, he's dead from pneumonia, ostensibly from the flu. And the headline reads, flu virus extremely strong this year, when the headline should have read, why did these medical doctors fail him? Why wasn't the pneumonia diagnosed in the first place? They missed it. But that's not the headline. Medical incompetence reigns large. You know, in this particular state, I can't remember where this kid was from. Michigan, perhaps? No, wasn't Michigan. Minnesota, perhaps? I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. My point here is that we have been under a medical monopoly for so long that we just think in the back of our minds, well, if the medical doctors can't figure it out, then nobody can. We've been socialized into believing that medicine is a complicated, sophisticated thing that only the best MD minds in the world can even have a hope at figuring out. So much so that when their therapeutics fail us, when they kill our children, we give them a pass. So what are the recommendations in mainstream media? More vaccinations, more vaccinations, more vaccinations. And look, if vaccinations were effective, I would be in favor of them. I'm in favor of Novocaine. Novocaine is very effective. This isn't a diatribe against conventional medicine. This is a plea for a free medical market. We don't have a free medical market. Most of you listening to this don't even know how to pronounce naturopathic or naturopathy, let alone know what it is. And there are going to be internet trolls. Oh, that Dr. Glidden, he's not a real doctor. He's just a quack. Well, guess what? You can stick it where the sun doesn't shine. I am a licensed naturopathic doctor. I've been practicing naturopathic medicine in primary care medical settings for 29 years. Bee propolis and an herbal extract of olive leaf are extremely effective at strengthening anybody's immune system, especially if you've been afflicted with the flu. A diet high in protein is indicated when you're suffering from the flu because your immune system is made from protein. Did you even know that? There are other therapeutics that are in fact science-based and clinically verified, which have proven to be effective at strengthening people's immune systems and helping them to fight things like the flu that you don't have any idea of whatsoever. And your children are dying because of it. Now look, thank God for the sterile technique. Thank God for surgery. The things that surgeons can do, just this side of miraculous. Again, this is not a diatribe against conventional medicine. It's perspective. They failed. And they're continuing to fail, and there's no public outcry. The conventional thought here is we need more vaccinations. We need more research on vaccinations. And look, no, we don't. Not in this case. We need a different perspective on what to do to help people deal with acute viral illnesses. And the naturopathic perspective is the one that needs to be brought to the table. You think the pharmaceutical industry is going to be okay with that? You think conventional media outlets are going to be okay with that? Just look at the ad space, between the commercials that are advertised between your favorite shows. On CNN and NBC and ABC, it's pharmaceutical advertisements. And look, it's not the drug, it's how it's used. But I'm telling you, do you think that the conventional media is going to give any positive information or any public information at all about science-based, clinically verified alternatives to drugs and surgery, which were developed and delivered by licensed physicians who weren't MDs? No, it's not going to happen. Thank God for the internet. Now, I'm not saying that naturopathic therapeutics are the be-all, end-all, cure-all for all human ills. I am saying that our voice needs to be heard, and your children and you are suffering because of lack of that information, period. Listen, we need a wake-up call, right? We need a free medical market. That's probably not going to happen in our lifetime. My profession is only legally able to be practiced in 24 states in the United States, less than half. Does that mean the laws of medicine change when you cross a state line? No, it's a political conversation. It's a financial conversation. It needs to be a humanistic conversation, but it's not. So, while we're waiting for naturopathic medicine to be licensed and regulated in all 50 states and enter into the mainstream, you can gain access to science-based, clinically verified naturopathic therapeutics right now. Follow me, for goodness sakes. It sounds a little extreme, but quite frankly, your life does depend on it. Here's my social media stuff: Glidden.healthcare, Facebook, YouTube, and the World Wide Web. Instagram, @GliddenHealthcare. Twitter, Dr. Peter Glidden, ND, @Dr. Peter Glidden. Follow me and spread the word. I am your steadfast advocate for health. Live long and prosper. I'll see you next time.